Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. You guys, this day I figured would always come. I think we've always figured the day would come that Janelle Evans' son Jace would speak out against his mom. We've said that for years. Back when Janelle and David were together and they had Marissa and Jace and even Kaiser and Ensley. We used to say things like, when those kids get older, they are going to spill the beans. They are probably going to talk. Well, one thing we know is Marissa has already wanted to speak out, but she wanted to wait until her dad's divorce was final before doing that because she did not want to cause any issues. So I do believe Marissa may speak out eventually. Well, now Jace is speaking out, you guys. He leaked messages between him and his mom. So we're going to go over the messages that he leaked. We're going to talk about them. And then Janelle responded. Janelle has responded to what he leaked, or not even to what he leaked. She didn't respond. She didn't acknowledge anything that was said in the messages. She just said, like, oh, that's my son. I love him. I always stand behind him. I'll always want the best for him. I'll always do my best for him. I have some thoughts on that as well. But I think at the end of this, you guys, I think I'm going to share the link in the chat. And if a few people want to come up and just share their thoughts on this, I think we'll do that. But to kind of keep this to a minimum or keep it, to where it's not just chaotic. Once I share the link, if you want to come up, just we're going to set a time limit for maybe 10 minutes or so. That way we don't get wrapped up. Y'all know I'm a talker, but we'll get wrapped up going on for an hour. That way to give anybody that wants to come up time to come up. We'll do that. I'll share the link in the comment section. And what you do to come in is you click that link. If you want your camera on, you select to turn the camera on. If you have to select to turn your mic on though, but you don't have to be on camera. You can turn your camera off, but you have to turn your mic on. And then you have to make sure you exit out of the live, because if you come in the live and you still have the live open, there will be a loop playing. So if I bring anybody in and there's like a loop playing, I may have to drop you just so we don't have that happening. But I would love for you guys to come up. Anybody that has, some comments about this, to come up and talk about it. But let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's read what happened here. The messages. Actually, we can go right on to Jace's page. I think they're still up. Unless she got a hold of his. Nope, they're still up. Wow. I'm actually shocked that they're still up, because I really figured Janelle was going to get a hold of Jace's phone and delete these. And listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. If this was my child, now granted, and they started talking crap about me on social media with a phone that I pay for, I'd be like, turn the phone off. But I'm a different type of mom than Janelle is. I do think Jace has some right to be upset with Janelle. Jace has a lot of right to be upset with Janelle. And I'm not saying he's right in what happened between them two, because I don't know. But Jace has a lot of right to be upset with Janelle. If you guys keep up with Janelle, you guys know that her friend Tori moved in with her. And Tori moved in on the day of Jace's birthday. Janelle took Jace out for the day, helicopter ride, fancy dinner, drops Jace off back at home, and then she goes and picks Tori up, and her and Tori go paint the town. Drinking, and every night since, Janelle has been out with Tori. Pretty much every night. And I have seen Janelle's response. So we're going to go over what Jay said. We're going to go over Janelle's response. And then, we're going to just discuss. Okay, so y'all, I was at a ball game, and when I tell you my phone started going off, it started going off. And let me try to put it in somewhat of an order, because it's kind of out of order. So I think this is the first one, and it's kind of small. So we'll do this. We'll do this. I would love to hear Barbara's take on it as well. Okay, so the first one, it says, you can't see it's cut off, but it says acting. And Janelle is the gray, Jace is the blue. So Janelle says, just like the way you lied about David strangling you. And then she said, you make things worse on yourself. He says, I never lied. I tried to do TS. Does anybody know what TS means? I don't know. But he said, I tried to do TS. She said, I was standing right there and have the Ring camera videos. Now let me talk to you guys about this for a minute. Because when this happened, when all of this came out, right? I think I think I may have been the first to report that there was Ring camera footage. Like, hey, you guys, there's Ring camera footage, allegedly. That's what I'm hearing. There's Ring camera footage. I may have been the first. I don't know for sure. I can't remember for sure. Either way, it was said, hey, there's Ring camera footage. There's Ring camera footage. Janelle and David denied that. Janelle on lives was like, that's not true. That's not true. They denied it. And I kept saying, no, you guys, no, like there's Ring camera footage. From what I'm hearing, there's Ring camera footage. Okay. So now Janelle admits, yeah, there's Ring camera footage. Okay. So you guys are saying TS means that crap. He tried to do that crap. I guess that's what you guys say that it means. Okay. And listen, yeah, to me, this could absolutely be Janelle just gaslighting him again. Do you guys remember the scene to where she pulled a pew pew on someone? And when Jace told Barbara and Barbara asked her, she said, no, I didn't. Jace is lying. Jace, why are you lying? So let's not act like she will not do that. We know that she will. And I feel like people could give Janelle the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, maybe, Janelle's calling him out on this. Maybe he is lying. Maybe he is lying. Janelle's calling him out. But we've seen her call him out before when she was absolutely lying, when he was not, and she was. So, no, just because we see her saying, you lied and said something, doesn't mean that he really did. So he said, I never lied. He tried to do that crap. She said, I was standing right there and have Ring camera videos. He said, okay, nice. You were standing there yelling in my face, cussing me out, just watching things happening. And I'll tell you, I talked to someone who said they watched the footage. And I was told Janelle was sitting in the car, that she watched, that she sat in the car, watched, the other kids was in the car. So maybe the person that I talked to, maybe they saw before she jumped out. I don't know. That's quite possible. Maybe she sat there for a minute and she ended up jumping out. But he says, you jumped out, you were in my face cussing me, just watching things happen. And let me tell you something, bad kid or not, like I have 6 children, okay? If one of my children were being just ridiculously bad and me and them were getting into it, or them and my husband were getting into it, and my husband is way bigger than them, you know, if my husband starts like putting hands around him or decking him, I'm going to be like, whoa, hold the heck up. We're not going there. No, we're not going to do that. We can argue, whatever. But, and if Jay swung on David first, David is big enough, he could have wrapped his arms around him and said, Janelle, call the cops, get the cops out here. You don't have to get physical back. Now, I will tell you, I've heard that there's been more to the story. I've heard there may have been like other stuff at play here, but I can't verify that. And the person that I did talk to that said they saw the footage, none of that, it was not mentioned. I was told that there may have been like a weapon involved or something like that, not on David's end, but on the other end. But still, like if there's a weapon involved, I get in my car, call the cops. They got a weapon, there's a weapon involved. Like we need to get somebody out here. So, um, let's see. Okay, so she says, but go ahead and test me. You're something. I don't know what the next part of that year is. He says, and this is Jace saying, I don't care about Kaiser and Ensley. I care about my health and my living situation. I don't need you. You don't need me. And I don't understand why you're doing this just because I'm telling the truth. You're crazy. And she says, you're the one saying you're going to have my custody taken. F you. And somebody asked me, what do I think this means? What do I think Jace means when he says, I don't care about Kaiser, I don't care about Ensley? Like, oh, do you think he'll hurt them? Like, do you think it means like he doesn't care about them? That's weird. Like, why don't he care about them? No, I think he threatened her custody. I think he may have said, like, you're a bad mom. I'll call CPS. They'll take the kids. And I think she must have said something like, oh, they won't take just you. They'll take Kaiser and Ensley too. And I think his response may have been, yeah, I don't care about Kaiser and Ensley. I care about my health. I care about my living situation. So I think maybe it was something like that, but that is me completely speculating here. Thank you, Ruth, so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Well, yes, and, according to Janelle, she is claiming that he has been in trouble with the law. That's what she's saying, but who knows? Alright, so yeah, she says, "F you," and I'm like, somebody commented on my page, and somebody commented and said, "Sometimes your kids need to hear a big F you." Listen, I got 6 kids. I'll probably say I have 6 kids a million times in this video because there's nothing that's happened, eh, that, like, I've dealt with it all. I've dealt with a lot of it, and I've dealt with, an unruly child a time or 2. I am pretty lucky that, like, most of my kids, they are just like, but, I got 1 or 2 that, like, can kinda get up there with me, and never have I had to hit them. Never have I had to deck them. Never have I, like, and never have I had to say, "F you." Nope, and I wouldn't bring myself to that level. I'm gonna read something. I would not bring myself to that level. Gentleness is not weak, okay? Being gentle with your children is not showing weakness. It's actually showing that you're strong because you can keep your composure. It's actually showing what kids need to see. And I'm very much that type of person that if our kids are acting crazy and getting rude and nasty with somebody, if I do it back with them, then what am I teaching them? No, if I keep my composure and I show them how to handle it with trying, with maintaining their composure, then it shows them like how to handle it a different way and how to handle it a mature way. But yeah, F you. And yeah, so this person said, sometimes kids need to hear a big F you. And I'm like, first off, no, I don't believe that. I think it should take a heck of a lot before a parent breaks and says something like that. And still, I don't know if I would ever get to that point. I cannot see myself getting to that point, but I know people are all different. But this is the way that I feel. If anybody has the right to feel like if you towards somebody, it's probably Jace towards her. In this message, she just accused him again of lying on David. He had marks. I mean, unless he did the marks to himself, but he had marks. She abandoned him when he was a baby. It's on video. It's there. The whole world watched Jace be abandoned as a baby. They all saw it. We all saw it. The footage is out there. There's footage out there of Janelle constantly out that door leaving. Barbara saying, "Can you watch the baby? Are you going to stay and help with the baby?" "No, I'm going out. No, I'm going out. I'm going out. I'm going out." At one point, Janelle referred to being pregnant or having a child like being in prison. Janelle publicly said that having a child was like being in prison. She did not raise him for many years until he was 14 years old. Then she brings him home to the land. She can't. Now, Barbara said this that Janelle took him off his medication. He was on medication for 7 years for his behavioral issues, 7 years. And he was going to therapy every week. And from what I was told, the therapist actually went to Barbara's house. Every week, the therapist went to Barbara's house. What happened once Janelle got custody of him and Barbara signed custody over to Janelle, Janelle did not take Barbara to court and win. Janelle actually took Barbara to court 2 or 3 times over the years. I don't remember exactly how many. Can anybody let me know if it was 2 or 3? I really don't remember. But over the years, once Janelle and David married, she took Barbara to court a couple of times. And guess what? She lost every time. The last time they went to court, the judge made it permanent. The judge said he will live with Barbara until he's 18. I'm not changing custody. Don't come ask again. It was made permanent. It was a permanent order put in place. However, Barbara decided when Jace was 14, about to turn 15, 14, a couple years ago, Barbara decided you need to live with your mom. Your mom seems to be doing okay. You're getting hard for me to handle. I'm getting old. So Barbara assigned him over to Janelle. Janelle never went before a judge and the judge said, "You know what? You're a good mom now." Because someone also commented that. Somebody said, Janelle wouldn't have custody of him if the judge didn't think that she was fit. First off, how many times has CPS been involved in a family and the judge left the kids with parents that were not good and they ended up unalive? How many times does that happen? So just because a judge rules that somebody is capable doesn't mean they are. All circumstances can be different. The judge, it depends on the judge. There's so many things that will play into. However, it wasn't even the judge. It was Barbara that said, "Hey, I'm old. He can be hard to handle at times. You're his mom. You have his siblings over there. You have a man that can kind of hopefully show him how to be a man. So go live. Yeah, you can go live with your mom. Okay." So yeah, she says F you. And I just feel like, wow, Jace, he was abandoned on TV. His mom is on OnlyFans. He watched his mom choose men over him time and time and time again. He watched his mom have other babies after she abandoned him. So the trauma that this poor boy has, and then for his mom to talk to him like this, that is disgusting. It's disgusting. It goes on to say, he says, Jay says, got it. Thank you. And Janelle says, you won't get a damn thing from me anymore, including a phone. And Jay says, got it. And on the bottom, as you can see here, it says, I need to go back to North Carolina. She is just really unstable. That's what he said. A 16-year-old says, I need to go back to North Carolina because my mom is just really unstable right now. Like, she's not stable. And listen, I mean, I kind of believe him because she's out drinking every night. Out drinking, partying, like, where's the kids? Who's watching the kids? Is Jace watching the kids? I mean, anybody that watches Janelle long enough can tell she's not really, I mean, something's wrong. Now, we'll watch her response. What do you think she means? I'll make one call. Where did she say she'll make one call? Did I miss that? Did I miss where she said I'll make one call? Because I only saw 3 texts. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, I didn't. Okay. Up here. So keep it up and I'll make one call. So keep it up and I'll make one phone call. Probably the police. I did miss that. Sorry. So keep it up and I'll make one phone call. He says, I don't care about Kaiser and Ensley. I care about my health and my living situation. I don't need you. You don't need me. And I don't understand why you're doing this just because I'm telling the truth. You're crazy. So probably the police. She's probably threatened to have him committed or arrested. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nancy says, I have 6 kids too, Elle, and I agree. No matter what, I would never speak to my kids like that because it would not be a good example. They are healthier ways to deal with the situation. 100%. April says, did you see that Kaiser and Ensley went to their first day of school in dirty clothes? I did see that. Yes, I saw that Kaiser's clothes looked dirty. I couldn't tell really that Ensley's looked dirty, but yeah, Kaiser's did look like they had stains on them, and it really made me sad for him. Janelle's out here making $24,000 a month on OnlyFans, and she can't buy her kids new clothes. Let me tell you something. Every year before school, I buy my kids brand new shoes for school, brand new clothes for school, brand new underwear, brand new socks. Their first day of school, they're going looking sharp. And this year, my son for college, I gave him money. I just say, here, buddy, you go get you some clothes. And then the night before his first day of college, I ironed his pants and several of his shirts. And then the next morning he wakes up and he wants to wear a different shirt. So I had to get up and hurry up and iron it. But literally, my kids are going to school. And listen, I know not everybody's like this. I'm ironing their school clothes, especially on their first few days. Like maybe mid school year, they'll go to school looking a little like a roadmap. But no, them first days, we're going dressed to impress. We're going to let it remind everybody, look how sharp I am. You haven't seen me all summer? Let me remind you how sharp I am. My kids are not going to school in no dirty clothes, no stained clothes, and their clothes are going to be pressed. Okay. I get not everybody's like that, but so this was Janelle's response. My children are my whole world, and everything I do is to try and protect, guide, and love them. Huh. Like any parent, I set rules and boundaries, and sometimes that isn't easy. Well, I agree with that. Setting rules and boundaries is not easy. Jay's posting our private text was his reaction to being rightfully disciplined. Rightfully disciplined? Okay. And while it hurts to see those moments shared publicly, I know it comes from a place of struggle. Why didn't she put pain or anger? Navigating Jace's different medical diagnosis has not been easy, but I've never stopped fighting to make sure he has had the resources, love, and support he needs. Taking him off his medication, stopping his therapy. Okay. I will always stand by him no matter what challenges come our way. And I will continue to work on being the best mom I can be to all three of my kids. I ask for empathy, kindness, and prayers during this time. Not just for me. Well, I would hope not. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe that was like, first off, that should have said, I will ask for empathy, kindness, and prayers, not just for Jace, but for me too. She said, not just for me, but Jace too. That tells you there she puts herself first. The fact that she put her, like, not just for me, but also Jace, you guys. Yeah, sure. Yeah, throw Jace in there. What? It literally should have said, not just for me, but for Jace as well. Okay, not just for me, but for Jace and our family as we work through this together. Oh, goodness. Recently, he's also been in trouble with the law these past few months and is having a hard time adjusting to the rules set before him. Set for him or before him? Okay. I've been trying everything to help him navigate it, but we are butting heads in the process. Please give us grace at this time. This is hard on all of us. I just feel like she does not put him first. I don't feel like she puts the other kids first. That's my personal opinion. She's always put herself first. What her wants are when it comes to a man, when it comes to where they're going to live. That her kids were raised in the country, woods for miles. Go outside and just play. Jump on a dirt bike and ride. Then they're living in the city. They don't like that. Took them from their family, their friends for what? Why? Why did Janelle move to Vegas, you guys? Because she was talking to August. It wasn't for any good reason. Yeah, Jace quit school. Well, if he had gotten in trouble with the law, I'm surprised no outlet has found that, but I bet they're going to be digging now. I guarantee you media outlets are going to be digging to figure that out. Yeah, she doesn't put Jace first, second, or third. That's my opinion as well. And listen, I know raising kids can be difficult. Trust me, I get it, and I know parents are not always going to make the best decision. I know they're not always going to do what's right. Sometimes they're going to let their emotions take over, especially when you have a child that is combative, especially if you have a child with ODD. And Jace has ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. And basically, what that is someone with ODD, they do have struggle with authoritative figures, mom, grandma, dad, teachers, anybody that holds the position of authority, they struggle to get along with when that person is, having to guide them or direct them into something. They don't like it, and it can be tough. It can really be tough. But my thing is, Barbara did it for 14 years. And how many times did we hear about 911 calls from Barbara's house? How many times did we hear about him running away from Barbara's house? The only time we ever heard of any of that happening was after Barbara let him go live with Janelle, and then he came back to Barbara's. Then he ran away. But before that, we didn't hear about any of that. We didn't hear about it. I mean, if it happened, Barbara was keeping it sealed and she was tending to it privately. But Barbara also had him on his medication. Barbara had a strict routine with his medicine. She made sure he had his meds, and she made sure he was doing his therapy. But the second he goes to Janelle's house, allegedly, she don't want him on his meds. He don't need them. He stops going to therapy. He don't need it. Then all these problems start happening. You are the outcome of your upbringing, and Jace is showing us this. That's all we need to know about Janelle. So, she said he would go for walks to his friend's house, but he would come back. She would give him his space. She brings up David's situation on Jace whenever she can. She shows she's still resentful about this. Like, this is one of the reasons they divorced. And what's so wild, oh, is she? I kept seeing her name, Ashley, Ashley, Ashley. Like, I saw people saying her name, but I didn't see her. Is it under Ashley? Let me see if I can see her. Is it under a different name? I don't see. Oh, there it is. Do you want me to highlight that, Ashley? Can I highlight that or should I not? Well, I will say that it was revealed after her and August's breakup. August had said publicly that Janelle drinks every day, smokes pot every day, and takes Zans every day. Is that what you call them? Zanbar, Zans? I don't know. That by noon, she is drinking, smoking, taking pills. Oh my goodness. I don't want to highlight any of your comments unless you're okay with that. I'm just curious how Barbara is handling all of this. I know Janelle and Barbara, they go back and forth with, as far as if they're getting along, and a lot of times that if at, Janelle will get mad at her sister. Ashley has a TikTok account, and if Ashley says anything on TikTok, Janelle will get mad, and then she will lash out at Barbara. Oh my goodness, I bet so. Ashley says she'll be speaking about it at some point. So I definitely think Janelle and Tori now living together is absolutely going to make things worse. I mean, just think about it. They go out every night. They go out every night. The kids have school the next day. Who's with the kids? Who's spending time with the kids? Who's putting the kids to bed? And if Janelle's putting them to bed and then going out and then coming home drunk and enough time to get them off to school, I don't know. I don't know how Janelle could literally go out every night, post about being out every night, and then act like it's okay. Like, "Oh, nothing to see here, guys. Nothing wrong with a mom of 3 who is a single mom. She doesn't have anybody there that can really babysit except randoms. We know she lets random people babysit. At this point, she at this point, she's been in Vegas long enough to possibly have met someone and know them well enough to babysit, but we know she has left the kids with strangers. That's not an alleged situation. That is a fact. Janelle left the kids with strangers. When Janelle first moved to Vegas, she had to go back to North Carolina to handle some business. She was gone, I think it was almost 3 weeks. And one of the girls kind of knew them, the other ones did not because it was not the same babysitter the whole time. The babysitters had to switch out because nobody even knew Janelle was going to be gone that long. The original babysitter was told Janelle would be gone like 2 or 3 days. And then on the day before she was supposed to come home, the babysitter's like, "Hey, like, what time are you gonna be home tomorrow? Because, I gotta know. I got stuff to do." Janelle's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be home for another like couple of weeks." The babysitter's like, "What? Like, what do you mean another couple weeks? School's starting soon. I have a job I have to get back to. What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, do you think you can find somebody to babysit?" Like, so the other babysitters were people did not even know Janelle. Did not know the kids, had never met the kids until they got to Janelle's house. That's when they met the children. When they got to their house to stay the night in their house with them. Could you imagine if this would have been like some crazy people there to watch the kids? So dangerous to do that. And by the grace of God, like by the grace of God, the people that were babysitting, from what I've been told by sources, they were good people. Was CPS closed their case on her, I think before her and August broke up, because they did open a case on her, but as far as I know, the last one they had, they closed it right before her and August broke up. Because August even spoke out about that. He said, "I'm literally the reason you didn't lose your kids because I vouched for you. Because when you were on the phone with CPS acting crazy, I got on the phone and then I did all the talking for you. And then you left and you went and started smoking weed while I was on the phone, like letting them know, no, you're a good mom." I know that's right, Winnie the cat. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna put the link in the I'm gonna share the link for the live. If anybody wants to come up and just give their thoughts and opinions about it, we'll keep the live going for maybe another 20 minutes or so, and we'll just talk about the situation. But that's where we're at right now. Let me see if anything else has been added since. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're still up. Like, I really felt like Janelle's gonna make him she was gonna make him take these down. Okay, let's see. Alright, so this is the link. Right here. Like I said, if somebody wants to come up and give their thoughts and opinions, just whenever you click it, it's gonna ask to show your face, like turn your camera on. Select yes if you want your face to be seen. Select no if you don't, but make sure you turn your mic on. But then when I bring you up, you're gonna have to close out of the other live, or there will be a loop playing, and we won't be able to hear good. And if that happens, I'll have to disconnect you. Okay. And then try to keep it down just for a few minutes. I was hoping that everyone saying the messages were fake. In fact, but then I saw Janelle posted a story. Okay, you guys, we got somebody back here. HB, I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on. All right, let's get ready. Hey, HB,
Hey Elle,
how are you?
dude. First off, I love your channel. I think you are such an upstanding woman. You're awesome.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, what do you think about all this?
Yeah. This is wild to watch. Like we watched this boy be born on TV, basically. No, like legitimately.
Yeah,
And now we're at the point that he's the same age that his mama was, and now he's putting it all out there. I do wonder if she did take his phone away since there's been like no updates at all.
that's what I thought too. I thought she's either gonna come. I mean, because coming from my parents' standpoint myself, me putting myself in that position, I'm like, oh, if my kids ever started posting about me on social media, I would just go straight to turn the phone off. I would call the company and be like, disconnect that phone, and then I would go and get it. But today, these kids have passwords, and if you don't go through their phone and know their passwords, even if you take it, you're not going to be able to get in to do anything. So it's possible she took his phone, but she don't have the ability to get into his phone to delete this because I felt like it would have been deleted. So I'm shocked that it's not.
Oh, for sure. And the damage control, the pitiful attempt at damage control. Girl, we
Yes,
saw what you said. What?
I'm
Just,
shocked.
oh man, she's
I'm like, we've
something.
been watching you, Janelle. We know that you have not put everything into Jace. We know that you have not tried your hardest. Like we all know that you took him off this
And
meds.
to hear between Tori and her on live talking about how much she makes and the nerve to
Mhm.
say she doesn't have the resources for Jace's mental health. Are
Right.
you kidding me?
Exactly. And I
Don't make no
wonder,
sense.
I don't know, but like Jace's dad, when he was living with his dad, I mean, they could have even got him maybe some state, like some government insurance or something, and that could have potentially helped with him getting some sort of treatment or medication or therapy or something like that. When he was living with his dad,
So
but now that he's
one
not
of
being. Go ahead.
right when I was going through the comments like everyone else on his posts, and I saw some woman in Las Vegas that was offering him like she was like, I can find you help, I can find you assistance, and I mean, I hope he got to see her and reach out to her, but
Mhm.
I'm betting the phone's already been taken from him. But there's people out there willing to help him.
Yep. I've
But
seen that too.
she's not going to let that happen.
I saw that too. I saw people offering to help, but I feel like she could if she really wanted to. She just doesn't want to, and she wants people to think that she has tried her best and she just couldn't. But she lies all the
Well,
time,
she
and
has custody, and that's all that matters. Being a parent just
exactly,
means you have custody.
exactly, 100. Yeah, exactly. Okay, HB. Well, I have a couple
Anyways,
other
I
things to go back and
appreciate
forth.
how you. I oh sorry. I
No, I was
appreciate
just
how
gonna
you've
let you go
covered all
ahead.
this like with so much integrity. You
Thank you
know,
so
Amber
much,
can act
baby.
like you're KJ, but you're the complete opposite of KJ.
That was wild to be called KJ,
Anyways,
but thankfully I know better than that, so it didn't offend me. I was just like shocked that she was getting me confused with her, but it wasn't offensive because I'm like, yeah, everybody knows that's not true.
and
But
props to Sean for holding it together. Oh my god.
girl, I'm shocked because normally he is spitfire when it comes to like somebody saying something about me. So I was actually shocked that he kept his cool. I was kind of proud of him. I was like, I'm proud you didn't like lose your mind and act like she did over like her saying that about me. Because normally, I mean, I know how he is about me. So I was like, thank you for like keeping your calm and not acting crazy on live because that would have been clipped and put everywhere. But I mean, I wouldn't be able to blame him because I'm his wife and she called me a bitch and among other things. So but thank you so much,
Anyways, I'll
HB.
let somebody else come up, but thanks for letting me pop on.
Absolutely. Bye, HB.
Bye.
Okay, we're gonna bring Tot up, and then we have Benny after Tot. Hey, Tot.
Hey, Elle.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for covering this today.
Oh, absolutely. So, what's your thoughts on it?
My main concern is the other two children that are still in her care. As a parent myself, I've dealt with CPS, and it was over Mary Jane,
Okay.
and I was given specific guidelines on if I was to continue using that, what is an appropriate way to do that around your children, or better yet, not around your children.
Mhm.
And it's not an easy thing to quit, but with the help of counselors and stuff, I was able to quit doing that. And it has been an improvement in both me and my children's lives. And it's been given me the opportunity to be a more present parent and stop relying on other people and get it done myself. And I just wish she would do that.
That's awesome. That's really awesome that you were able to quit because that takes a lot of willpower. So, shout out. That's awesome. And yeah, the thing about it too, though, is Janelle, she smokes and then she allows Jace to smoke as well, who is 16 years old. And Jace has been smoking since he's been like 14. He's been smoking pot. And she gave him pot to help with his mental health issues, which all the research that I've done online with the mental health issues that he has, pot will that can make it worse. It can
It
actually
can.
make it really bad.
It
Um,
definitely can. And I just know that the younger children are being exposed to that, whether it's through her directly, through the people she has in her home, or through the effects that it has on her son.
Absolutely, and it's to the point where the kids are old enough, they know what's going on, they see what's going on,
For sure.
they see, they know that mom and Jace smoke together, that they know these things, um, so and, Kaiser, like, her allegedly letting Kaiser vape, which Nathan even came out to say that Kaiser's dad, he did an interview with his son, and he even admitted that Kaiser was vaping, and I
I
think
don't understand
Kaiser
how anyone can sacrifice their children's health just to shut them up or make them happy or whatever her thought process was there.
I couldn't even imagine. Like, oh, okay. Like, you want to go jump off of a bridge? Like, okay, sure. Like, to make you happy. Like, no, you have like
No,
she in her post she talks about having rules and guidelines or boundaries or whatever. But it's like, really, what are they though? What are your rules with the kids?
just to not talk crap about her.
It seems like stay out of my way and don't cause me any issues, and that's it. That's it. It doesn't
Totally
seem like
agree.
she
And I want to thank Ashley for speaking up, and I hope to hear more from her soon. And I hope to hear good things coming for all the children involved in this situation.
I will say, and if Ashley's still in the chat, if she knows, maybe she can verify or not, but that when Jace ran away last time, that Barbara did say, well, like, if you want, you can just send him back to me. And Janelle was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, you're too old. Ashley, can you verify? Because I was told through a source that Barbara did offer when Jace ran away last time, before he went to Andrews, before Janelle sent him to Andrews, Barbara was like, well, I guess you can send him back to me if you need to.
I don't know if that's the best thing for Barbara, but it sounds like it would be the best thing for Jace.
Yeah, and it's I've also been told that Jace looks at Barbara as like his mom. I mean, he calls her May May, but that's like the person who raised him.
Yeah, he always
Someone
called him
that
mom when he was a kid too, and she would get really angry about that. And it's like kids are gonna say what they're comfortable saying. They're gonna call
yeah,
people what they're comfortable calling them. There's been times when my kids don't call their dad,
yep,
and that doesn't bother him as long as he is present in their lives. That's what matters to him.
right. Yeah, I remember that scene in the car where Jace called Barb mom, and Janelle said, "Can you please not call her that and call her May May?" And
I can see how that would hurt, but you have to worry about what's not hurting your kid.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, and that could have been something she could have talked to Jace about, not on camera later on. Like, hey, why do or even saying like, well, make sure you still call me mom. Like, I'm your mom. I get it. She takes care of you. So like, if you want to call her mom, I get that. But I'm your mom too. But Janelle always seemed to have jealousy over Barbara. She was very jealous of Barbara and Jace's relationship.
I've always been proud of Kate and Ty for getting help through
Mhm.
therapists on how they can be better parents. And I think that that's what Janelle needs to do is get help from a therapist on how she can be a better parent or at least be a positive person in her kids' lives if she can't continue to parent.
Absolutely. She definitely needs help. She needs to see a psychiatrist, psychologist, a therapist, some counselor, somebody. But according to her, she has all these uh, interactions with CPS where they've ordered her to do things, parenting classes. I think she said she's been to parenting classes 9 different times. And I'm like, that is not a flex because you clearly learned nothing. The fact that
Right.
you
You're
had
faking it till you
yeah,
make it.
yeah, exactly. The fact that you had to be sent 9 times or how many times she says she had to go is wild. And then the fact that you still don't know how to raise your kids. You still don't know how to be a mom after
It's very
taking
sad.
parenting classes. That's
It's
really
very
wild.
sad.
Yeah,
I have
it's
lots
very
of prayers for their family, and I hope things improve in the next couple of years. Thank you for having me on, Elle.
Oh, absolutely, Todd. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, we're gonna bring Benny up now. Thank you, Todd, for coming in. Also, thank you. What's it, HM? All right, you guys, we're gonna bring Benny up, and then we have Toasted after Benny. Hey, Benny.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay,
I'm sorry for the long
I'm
wait. I'm
good.
sorry for the wait.
No, that's okay. I'm like watching you on my way home from work. I always watch you, but
Thank you.
I was gonna say, like here in Nevada, I feel like he's just doomed, regardless. Obviously, because Janelle's his mom, number one. But I don't know what anybody could do to help him at this point because if she's saying she can't afford it, whatever, but you make $24,000 a month. I mean, if you were to just take him to any hospital in Nevada and say like he's going through this, this, and this, and I don't have the money, they would give her resources to, they
Yeah.
would absolutely give her resources to have some type of like mental evaluation, even if he didn't, and like bill her later, whatever the case is. I mean, there's people that don't have insurance that can have like that can get help. So I just think that's just a poor excuse. I think she doesn't want people in her business to find out what the real truth is. But it's like we already all know she's a piece of she's not a good mom.
Exactly.
It's like I don't know what you're hiding from. Everybody knows you shouldn't have had that, any of your kids. And so I'm thinking as I was like hearing you talk about it, I'm like worried for the other kids because he's like, I don't care about Ensley, I don't care about Kaiser. Like, what if he harms one of them? If he does like have all these mental problems, like, I mean, that's not uncommon. You see kids killing their siblings all the time. Like, they don't want to watch them. If she's leaving him to drink every night, especially being in Vegas, it's like I'm just like, why would you come here? Like, why would you come to Vegas? It's the dumbest thing I've. But she's just an idiot. But
It's literally
I just feel like
party central. It's party
he's
central. It's
doomed
not
either
even like
way.
she
Yeah.
claimed that it was like better for her business. She was going to start her marijuana business, but that's not even in Las Vegas. It was in like Arizona. It was in Arizona. So it wasn't even like it was even where she moved. But yeah, you're very right. And I heard that she had been leaving Kaiser and Ensley at home with Jace. And then CPS said that she could not do that anymore because after he like damaged the house and she called the cops and said he like tore my house up, he tore the cabinets
Mhm.
up, whatever. CPS got involved. And I was told through a source that she was told Jace cannot babysit the kids because he's,
Yeah.
just with his mental issues, like he can't babysit the kids. I feel like he probably still has. I don't feel like she's going to adhere to what they say just because they
course.
told her to do it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's a
And
scary
obviously,
thought.
she knows she's doing something wrong for her to say, like, you're just trying to get custody taken away or whatever she said. I don't know the exact quote, but like, she knows she's doing like the wrong things. And the thing with CPS here is like, you can be like a full blown drug addict. I'm telling you from experience, like with child custody with my daughter, like I've never even had I've had a traffic ticket, but I'm saying beyond a traffic ticket, I've never had any like type of, the father of my child has like drug charge, kidnapping, battery, assault on a protected person, DUI,
Oh,
like,
wow.
and even in that situation, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter if the parent's on drugs, they can still get visitation as long as it's supervised. So they don't care about children here,
Right.
especially in Nevada. Like, they don't care. They're like, a kid has to die for them to be like, oh, we made the wrong decision. Not even like do anything crazy, but just say, oh yeah, we made the wrong decision, like whatever. So I feel really, really bad for him, and I feel really bad for the other kids. Like, I don't even know.
Right.
Imagine like, and I know it's not like Jace's fault, but it's like, imagine if he's already like hurt one of them, or like he's already lashed out, or like that's coming next because he wants to be removed from that situation so bad. So he's like, let me like, do something crazy. And it's, I don't know, like, especially being in Nevada, I'm like, I don't even know. I know you have like more resources than me, but I'm like, I don't even know how you could help him, or like
Right.
what
Yeah.
anybody could even do to help him at this point.
And she's not even really trying, in my opinion, like allowing him to smoke, not making sure he takes his meds, letting him quit school. I feel like him going to school would have been a good thing, even if he wants to quit. Like, no, Jace, you got to get back on your meds. You got to go to school. Like, Barbara had him on a routine, and I think that's why he did better at Barbara's, because kids that struggle with, first off, kids in general need a routine, but kids that struggle with mental health issues, they really need to be on a routine. So when you throw a kid like Jace into chaos,
Yeah.
it's really going to affect him. And
Yeah.
Kaiser and Ensley, they've witnessed, some of the outbursts that Jace has had. And I mean, a lot of people would say, well, what is Janelle supposed to do in a case like this? Well, try to put him back on his meds. I don't know. Don't let him get off of them. Get him back in therapy. And unless she's to come
She's
out
just,
to say, I've done those things,
Mhm.
and even then I would question it, because I don't think she's honest. But to me, I
she's
don't really
just
see
not
her
a good
trying.
mom. If
Right.
you see the way she even like interacts like with Ensley, when like it's so forced, it's not genuine, it's not like, I love you, you're my baby, like it's like, oh my god, if I ever see Janelle in person, like in the street over here, like I will knock her ass out. I'm sorry, I know,
Oh,
like, not to be saying violence, but I'm just like, I can't stand her, like all the fakeness, like,
mhm.
I don't know, but yeah, that's just what I was gonna
I
say. He's really
agree.
like
There was a
doomed in
video,
Vegas.
of her and Inslee, like, trying some sort of sweet, some treats or whatever, and Inslee was super excited about it. She was, like, trying to show her mom something, and Janelle was just, like, not even paying any attention to Inslee, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Girl," like, and rather than, like, letting Inslee try it first and be like, "What do you think?" Janelle would try it and, like, tell Inslee, "Hold on," and then she would try it, and she'd be like, "Okay, you try it." I'm like, "This is such a weird interaction between a mom and her daughter." You can see the daughter is, like, wanting her
Yeah.
mom's attention, and Janelle was just, like, still in the camera, focused on herself, and then, like,
Yeah.
"Okay, now you try it." It was
It's just a job
weird.
to her, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just a
it was
job. Like, let's get this video done and I can go back to getting drunk with Tori or whatever it is, or I can go
right.
back to my man. Like, I don't know.
Yes.
She's a lost cause.
Oh,
Do you think Barbara
unfortunately.
would, I know because she's old and she's probably exhausted. Like, I know she's worked like hard jobs her whole life, but do you think she like wants to, or is it like too late for all that for her to try to like get back involved?
I don't think Barbara really wants to have Jace, because she's old now, and Jace is a handful. Um, but I think she would rather her have Jace than him be in, like, a home or something, because,
Mm-hmm.
she loves him, that's her grandson, and she raised him. So I think if she could be like, "Hey, Janelle, don't send him to a home, send him back with me," I think she would probably do that, because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I was told last time whenever Janelle sent him to go live with his dad, Barbara was like, "Just send him back to me." And she was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna send him to live with his dad." But I was told that Barbara offered that, so I do feel like before, something drastic happens, like her putting him in, like, a mental health facility, I do feel like Barbara would offer that. But I do feel like it's going to be tough on Barbara. She's older. And now Jace has been off his meds for so long. He now smokes pot a lot. And that was one of the issues last time when he went back to Barbara's. He ran away and he was going to go get pot from what I was told. And she's not going to want him at her house smoking pot or anything. So that's going to be a point of contention for him to be back at Barbara's. So yeah, I just feel like Barbara's like, if I'll do it rather than him being somewhere like at a hospital or whatever. But I don't feel like she
he's 16, right?
He's 16. He just turned 16.
Yeah, well, he's got 2 years till he can. I'm just like, in the meantime, I don't want to see on the news that like Ensley or something happens to them. Like, it's just
right. Yeah, it's a scary thought. It's really, honestly, it's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Okay, Benny. Well, I got Toasted and Ella in the background. I appreciate you so much for coming up. Thank you. And we're going to do this again, you guys. We're going to start bringing people up more because this is so much fun. Thank you, Benny.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Bye. Okay, Toasted, we're going to bring you up. Hey, Toasted.
Hey, how are you doing? Can you hear me? Or
I can hear you. I'm not sure what I'm looking at, but I can definitely hear you.
Yeah, sorry, my camera's a little bit not working so well. Yeah, but how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Sorry. But like, I'm just wondering. So like, CPS knows what's happening, or like what the person said before. Is there really like nothing they could do about it with this whole situation, or?
I mean, I don't know if CPS knows about what's happening, right now or whatever's been happening lately. Because from my understanding, they closed their case months back after, when she sent Kaiser to go live with his grandmother. Kaiser had gotten in trouble a couple of times. Jace had gotten in trouble. She sent Kaiser to live with his grandmother, and CPS got involved. But from what I heard, they closed the case, and that was something that August even said after him and Janelle broke up. He said they closed the case because he, kind of vouched for Janelle, and so they closed it. So I don't know if a case has been open since then. I'm not sure.
Right,
I haven't heard anything about it. So I'm not sure.
I mean, I would suppose, like in this situation, they should do something because I don't really see. Is there really, and are they even being technically raised? Is there any difference if they wouldn't even have her in the house at all? If they were just like raised by themselves, like at this point, like if you're saying she gets drunk every night and she's smoking every night, is there really any, this situation? You get what I mean, or?
I mean, if CPS just dropped by, here's the thing, CPS drops by in business hours, though, I think. I don't think they go by, at 10 o'clock at night when mom might be out partying and the kids may be home alone. But if somehow CPS could start keeping an eye on them and start, seeing, oh, it's a weeknight, Janelle's out partying. Oh, it's the next weeknight, Janelle's out partying. And then schedule an interview with her and schedule an interview with the kids first. And that's what I think they need to do. I think they need to show up to Kaiser and Ensley school, sit down with them and have an interview with them, ask them questions, and then only after they talk to the kids, then go talk to Janelle. Don't talk to Janelle first because that'll give Janelle, that will alert her that CPS is involved. And then she will tell the kids like, hey, CPS might show up to talk to y'all, tell them X, Y, and Z. So they need to go to the kids' school, speak with the kids, ask them what's going on, talk to them. Does Jay smoke? Do you see your brother smoke? Does your mom and Jace get into a fight? Ask what are all the questions they ask or whatever. And then go speak to Janelle and then start keeping an eye on her. I mean, I wouldn't see how it would be okay for a mom. I mean, Jace is 16,
right,
but he has mental health issues. And from what I was told, CPS already said he cannot stay at home and watch the kids.
Right. I mean,
If she's
like,
paying someone else to, then they might not can do anything about her going out every night partying if she has like a reliable babysitter.
yeah, I mean, it turns out like that, unironically, it may have been even better for the kids to have. Would you say? I know he was a child. I know he would abuse, like hit them, but I mean, especially Kaiser. But do you think it would have been better if like they actually were better off when he was there with them because he actually did somewhat of parenting, or?
Who, August?
No, David.
Oh,
One that.
David. Oh, looking back on David and Janelle's relationship, one thing that we know is that David was like kind of the main one taking care of them. But, and I don't know, because there's been so many allegations of him, putting bruises on Kaiser's butt. Years ago, Nathan put pictures on X, Twitter, and tagged their local sheriff's department and said that Kaiser came to him saying that David, hit him, spanked him, he had bruises. Nathan started documenting all this stuff and he started putting it up on Twitter and tagging the police department, and nothing ever happened. He said he went to the police department and, reported all this stuff, and nothing ever happened because the bruises on the butt, Janelle and David said, came from a slip and slide. Kaiser's grandmother, Doris, was on a Teen Mom reunion where she said, one time we got Kaiser, and Kaiser came up to me and said, David punched me. And, we were like, was he playing? Were y'all wrestling? And he's like, no, we weren't wrestling. He was mad and he punched me. So I don't know, because there's been those allegations against
Yeah, I mean,
David
like,
too.
I feel more bad for the kids than I would for like Janelle or stuff like that. Like, you're going out with David, you're like going out with a pit bull. You should, but like the kids, they have no say in this. Them being abused by him is what
Right.
makes him like like somebody, like even him. I would have. I can't even root for him over Janelle, even though I believe Janelle is a very bad person simply because he's just a child abuser. I mean, but like, what I was gonna say here is that I remember Grace Report actually even predicting this, sort of saying that even if she leaves David, the kids won't be any better. She's not like a good person, and I sort of like, I didn't realize how bad of a person she was until the whole Jace situation where she defended David after he strangled him.
Right.
Like, what exactly happened? You said he had a weapon on him, or
Well, that is something that I heard more recently. The
I
only thing that I
mean,
ever heard up until very recently was that Jace had ran away like days before that, and he was grounded. Janelle and David left. They come back home, and Jace is not there. He had left on the Fowler. I think he took off on the Fowler and went to their closest neighbor's house, which Jace knew them. And so Janelle and David jump back in the vehicle. They go to riding around looking for Jace, and Jace is about to leave the neighbor's house, sees them pass by. He's like, "Oh crap, I gotta go, and I'm supposed to be grounded." And David and Janelle are looking for me now because they came back before I got back home. So he
right,
goes outside to leave, and David and Janelle are just so happen to be passing back by. They see him, they pull up, and I was told like David jumps out, confronts Jace, and then he puts hands on Jace. That's what
right,
I was told. Um, but now it was some rumblings behind the scenes that like Jace may have had something to that one would use to defend themselves if need be or whatever. Now, David did say in their divorce filing, because Janelle used these charges against David in the divorce filing. She said, I'm divorcing him, and I should get primary custody of the children because he has these charges against him concerning my other child. And David responded to that and said, there have been times I've had to restrain your child because he has mental health issues, and at times he has had weapons. So that was mentioned in the divorce filing. David's response was something about at times Jace carried weapons on him, but I'd never heard anything about him having a weapon on him that day until recently. I heard something about that, but I cannot verify that. The person that I talked to that said they saw the video, the ring camera footage, they didn't say anything about a weapon, so I'm not
right.
sure.
I mean, the best, like the only way I could see a downfall, like a complete downfall for Janelle, is if she would have to become famous, like famous enough, like that's the only way. But besides for people in this community, does anybody even really know of Janelle? Honestly, like,
Um, I mean, I would say, back in MTV Teen Mom's heyday, they were pretty popular. But yeah, it's really calmed down. So unless you're like a MTV junkie teen mom person, You probably really don't know who Janelle is. I know Janelle did an interview not too long on YouTube, and the guy was like, I had no idea who you were. I had to do some research because I had no idea who you were. So while she is big in the world of reality TV, Teen Mom, MTV, she's not in the grand scheme of like being a celebrity.
Right, and,
In
and
my
the
opinion, I
community,
don't think.
yeah, and the community she in is not like the most like she's not in like those 4chan or Kiwi Farms type of. Those people are not following Teen Mom. It's mostly women who are not going to like go through dirty tactics to like if she like her fan base was the the teen boy or young adult boy fan base.
Right.
I could see something like that happening, but her fan base is also kind of not really a reckless fan base, if that makes sense. But like, could you see her becoming like her being famous enough? Like, I mean, I guess people like Joe Exotic became famous from being
True.
no, he became famous after like a Netflix documentary. So I mean, if
Yeah.
Netflix, would they be willing to? I mean, would they? Do you think they would see her as an interesting enough character, and this would garnish enough, media coverage, or you don't think there's any possibility she would ever have enough fame to, because that's the only way I could see her like. Once that happens, I think it's going to cause CBS more scrutiny, and then they may actually do something about it. Do you get what I mean, or no? Or
I think for her to like pop off to be like an A-lister or whatever, it would have to be something huge. I saw this post the other day, and I think it's clickbait, where like they were saying that Netflix was going to do this big documentary on like MTV Teen Mom. Janelle was going to be a part of it. Now, if they were to do something like that, like to expose MTV or something like that, and they had this big Netflix documentary to expose Teen Mom, and the stars of reality TV shows spoke out to tell, their side of, like, the dark side of it, then and she was on it, then it might get, propel her a little bit, but I don't think she would ever be like an A-list celebrity. That is just my opinion.
I
I
mean,
think
like,
she's D-list right now, and at most, she can probably get up to maybe C-list. That's
yeah,
just my
yeah.
opinion.
I mean, she thinks she's such a narcissist. She thinks she's an A-list. I'm not joking about that. I mean, like, is there any good qualities to her? Because like after following her, I think you might remember we followed her since the whole. I remember you from the whole dog shooting days. Like you followed her, and I followed her for a long time. Like, do you see any redeeming qualities? Because after years of following her, I don't think I see any redeeming qualities. I really think she's like Satan based, not Satan,
Yeah.
but like the qualities of like Satan and stuff like that. And like,
Man, I hate to be really judgmental when it comes to her, but I'm looking at her from the standpoint of, she's a mom and she has 3 kids. And as far as any redeeming qualities, God, no. I mean, really, I don't, because the people that she's supposed to love and protect the most, that is on the bottom of her list. That is at the bottom of her priorities. She puts herself above them every single time. So if you
um,
can't take
yeah,
care of your children and put them first, to me, there's nothing else that matters. There's nothing else. I mean, no, I don't see any redeeming qualities about her,
I
honestly.
mean,
She would
does
have to
she?
do a lot.
I'm not sure like if she even cares for the kids. I remember, you know who Rue is? That person.
Yes. Yes.
I remember at beginning like a couple years ago, her saying she likes her kids but doesn't like being a parent to her kids. But I'm not even sure if she actually likes her kids. I mean, like because like having a stranger babysit your kids is a recipe for disaster. It could like lead to like having your dog be babysit by I know they have these babysitting services. Are they really even trustworthy? You know what I'm talking about? The ones that they have on the.
I think
I
some of those, babysitting services, they do, like, background checks on them, so they're a little bit more trustworthy than just, like, hiring randoms that you don't know? Which
I mean,
if she woulda went through a service, I might would kinda understand that a little bit better, but just, like, and she's so lucky that the people that and per my source, I was told the people that did end up babysitting were good people, and, the
right.
kids loved them, and, so it was by the grace of God that she got good people, but it could have been a bad thing. I mean, you have a boy and a girl, a little boy and a little girl, and a stranger staying the night with them. And listen, not only it's not just men that are like sick human beings. You got some women out there, women teachers that are, getting arrested for having sexual relationships with their, their students now. So, and praise God that the girls, the ladies that watch the kids, per my source, said these were great women, and thankfully it was great women, but Janelle didn't know any difference. Janelle didn't know if they were or not.
Right. I mean, I don't really have any. I'm being honest with you, based on like, I don't really have any faith that any of the kids will turn out well. If that makes sense, I really, I hope this is not some. I just don't see it. Besides for Jace, I don't know if any of them will turn out. Hopefully I'm wrong by just unless something, you know.
Unless they look at Janelle and they're like, I want to be completely opposite of her. I want to go to school. I want to make something of myself. She might be the driving force to push them to do something good with their lives.
I mean, because like I'm not too old. I'm only 26, but I know a little bit of the world to know that it really matters having like a nuclear family and stuff like that. Once
yeah.
Well, once like even if they go to foster, even if they go to like they have a good person taking over them, it's still like I don't know if it's still something I know. I don't know if it could even work out. I mean, like the whole thing is just a sad situation, and yeah.
It really is. It really is, Toast. It's really sad. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah.
bring
By the
up.
way, I love your coverage. By the way, it's sort of like your coverage sort of spoils me because you have the most information compared to all the other ones, light years ahead of them. So it's sort of
Thank
spoils
you.
me. Yeah. Okay.
I
Thank you
always
so
see
much.
you here, Toasted. I always see you in here, and I appreciate that so much. I appreciate you coming up, and we're gonna continue doing this. I think every once in a while we're gonna do a live where you guys can come up. So I appreciate you so much for watching, and I appreciate you for coming up.
Of course. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, guys, we have Ella who's been hanging tight in the background, and then we have Amanda. Ella and Amanda, you guys don't leave. Rocket Raccoon 42 sent $20 and said, I saw Gary post that the cast for the Teen Mom cruise and Janelle was on it. L, so you think after this they'll wake up and pull her from the cruise? I can't understand how she gets paid to be a bad person / mom. Well, this is called the Teen Mom cruise because it's the Teen Mom girls, but MTV has nothing to do with the cruise. This cruise is being put on by another company. I'm not exactly sure what company, but basically the girls offered to go. So this cruise has done this for like a couple of other reality TV shows, and it has nothing to do with Teen Mom or MTV. Or it's titled Teen Mom because that's who they're getting to go. They asked, hey, do you guys want to go on this cruise? We're going to do this cruise, Teen Mom themed cruise. You guys want to go? And they're not being paid to go. There will be games, and money can be a part of like the games, rewards from the games or whatever, so they could get paid that way. And they have to promote this. And if they get people, like a lot of people to come, then they could get paid a portion of that, from my understanding. But this has nothing to do with MTV. That has nothing to do with, Viacom or whoever owns MTV at this point. So now the cruise is whoever's putting it on, they could potentially be like, you know what? Wow, she's got more baggage than we understand. So we're not gonna let her come. But Amy says they invited every Teen Mom cast member except Amber Portwood. I was in the report said they did not invite Amber Portwood. So I think they invited a lot of them, but Amber Portwood, from my understanding, was not about it. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna bring up Ella. Amanda, I still see you back there. Don't hang up. Hey, Ella. Oh, her mic is off. Let me see if I can get her back up with her mic on. Oh no. Hey, Amanda. I just booted Ella somehow.
Hello.
Okay. Ella, it
You hear
says
me?
your mic is not on. Go out, come back in and turn your mic on, and I'll bring you back up. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So share your thoughts with everything that's going on with
I used
Jace.
to actually, back in the day, because I grew up with Teen Mom, they're around my age.
Mhm.
And so I used to actually feel really bad for Janelle and Phil for her because of how she was treated. And listening to you, I've honestly stopped watching Teen Mom and I listen to you and Grace a lot. And I'm kind of disappointed in her because she's not a good mom. I feel like Jace is just gonna say when he's 18, he's gonna say peace out and disown her. And I feel bad for the other kids because they're stuck in the house with her. Even though she's left David, she's still not a very good person, in my opinion.
No, yeah, I agree. I think with the, obviously her and David were not good together. And there was a lot of those allegations of what was happening and, people putting hands on each other or whatever. But even Janelle alone with the kids is not a good thing. She's constantly renting hotel rooms and taking weekends off to relax and get a vacation and she's constantly out partying. I just can't see how anybody ironically, Janelle does have a lot of fans. Like if you go to her Facebook page, you will see people will even comment on my stuff from time to time, like, leave her alone. She's a great mom. And I'm like, do y'all follow her? Are we watching the same
Right?
person? Because I don't think so,
Yeah. And I'm not sure how Barbara feels about this. Because I know you mentioned that she's getting older and Jace is a handful, which is unfortunate because it's like, look what he was raised around. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I honestly, in my opinion, I think a lot of adults felt that kid.
You think what?
I think a lot of adults felt at Jace.
Yes.
And I think they continue to fail Kaiser and Ensley as well because it's just chaos, Like
Right.
she's never home. She's
Yep.
always partying. Now I'm just like, Vegas of all places, really?
Yeah, and someone commented because when I first found out she was moving to Vegas, I was like, "What? Like your kids are used to being in the country." Somebody commented earlier and was like, "I live in Vegas. I live in a more rural type area, community, and it's like a good place." And so I know there are good places for families, but Janelle did not, in my opinion, Janelle did not move there to have a quiet home life with her kids. I feel like she moved
Yeah.
there for, because it was a big party place.
She moved there for that, and then I also think she moved there for a boy because she ended up
Yeah.
dating that August guy too.
Yep, she was dating August, and it put her closer to him.
Yeah. And I also kind of worry that like she'll get in another relationship and it will be toxic, and then it's going to be this all over again.
Yep, and she's dating again. I mean, she made a post not too long ago that, first dates are awkward, but she made it through it. And I'm like, girl, you got your 3 kids at home, you have your son that has a lot of issues. Like, if you gotta work, if you have a child that's, having some issues, you gotta work, like, I completely get working. I get that. Do your thing. You gotta make money. Now, would I do it by OF? Absolutely not. But, like, parents can't just quit work when their kids are going through something. So I do get that.
Right. And she also
But she's just out partying all the time too. Like she's not just working, but she's out partying all the time.
She should have kept him on his meds and in therapy because he was doing really good and then she's like, "Ooh, he lives with me. Let's just have him smoke weed all day."
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
like I used to smoke it, and it's like I understand, but I'm like I wouldn't. If I was on meds, I'd be like, okay, I need to be on these meds, not smoking pot.
Yeah.
I've been 7 years sober, so
She
I
took him
understand.
off his meds, but then in place of it, because he was having issues with sleeping and things like that, she was like, "Oh, we'll just smoke."
Yeah, it doesn't cure everything like she thinks. It seems.
It really does not.
Poor
It
kid.
can make the situation worse. And I
Oh
think that's
yeah,
probably what's happened with Jace.
yeah, it's sad. And I hope Ensley and Kaiser are okay because that's a mess, man.
Oh my goodness, yes.
But
And I'm like, are they gonna go to school and tell the teacher like things that happen at home? Like, are they gonna?
well, that didn't you say that Kaiser showed up dirty, or somebody did at
He
school
did what?
or something? That
Yeah.
Kaiser showed up dirty or something like messy.
So, their first day of school, Kaiser and Ensley's first day of school, Janelle posted a picture of them, and he was wearing a hoodie that looked like it had stains on it. And I'm like, "Ugh." And
Wow.
people posted it and was like, "Wow, she's sending her kids to school on their first day dirty, like their clothes are dirty, they have stains on them." So
That's
yeah,
horrible.
that was kind of wild. I was like, "Oh my goodness." And her kids, like, be a better mom. Like, if your son wants to wear a hoodie that's got a stain on it, be like, "Hey, bud, I know you wanna wear the hoodie, but it's your first day of school. Let's" and yeah, it's 100 degrees. Thank you. It's 100 degrees. She's sending her kid in a hoodie, but I don't know what's wrong with kids these days. I feel like they do wanna wear hoodies a lot, even though it's hot. I'm not sure. But a as the mom, I would have to step in and say, "Listen, I get it. You like that hoodie, but it's got a stain on it. It's dirty. We gotta wash it. Go pick out something else." And I
Yeah.
mean, or if the kid completely insisted and he threw a fit and he wanted to wear that dirty sweater, I ain't taking a picture of you in that dirty sweater because I know I'm gonna get my butt handed to me once I post this on the internet and you're wearing dirty clothes on your first day of school.
Right. I just think it's a mess, but I'll let you go so that you can try to let the other person on again.
Well, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you
Yep.
so much for coming on.
All right. Thanks. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, we have I think it's Ellie. I think we have Ellie. I'm gonna let her tell me how to say her name, but um, if it is, this is what people call me. This is how people get my name confused. Hey, Ellie? Is it Ellie?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Ellie?
Um,
Or you pronounce it?
yeah, I just wanted to say that I watched some of the old Teen Moms. I have Hulu, so they have them all on Hulu.
Uh-huh.
And it really broke my heart the way that Janelle would always treat Barb. I
Yes.
mean, um, I I think on one of the episodes she was talking to the producers. And Barb was like, I'm really worried about Jace. And if Jace goes back to Janelle, I'm going to be really worried about Jace.
I remember exactly what you're talking about. I can't re I I can't remember exactly why she was saying that, but I do remember hearing her say that. Like, I can even picture her saying, like, "I'm really worried if he goes back. I'm really worried about him." But I don't remember what exactly it was in reference to. Your mic just muted. You have to unmute your mic.
There you go.
Okay, I can hear you now.
And yeah, and at the reunion, I think Barb and Janelle, they got into an argument because Nathan's girlfriend at the time hugged
Yes.
Barb, and Janelle was like, "Why is she hugging my mom? Blah, blah, blah. Why is she hugging my mom?" And
Yep.
it was like a huge chaos. And first of all, girl, you don't even talk to your mom, so like, why do you even care?
It was very weird. I mean, to me, Janelle, like, she has a lot of, characteristics of, like, a narcissist. Barb and Janelle were both on Teen Mom. They were both on the
Mhm,
show, so they both made friends with production, and during that scene where, Barb was in there talking to one of the members of production and Janelle walks by, she's like, "What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about?" And she tells, Barb, she says, "You're talking to my friend on my show." And Barb's like, "It's my friend too." So, Janelle has, talked about how, Barb is talking to her old bosses, and I'm like, "That's her old boss too, though." But in Janelle's mind, everything is like hers, that's her friends, her old bosses, her show, very much kinda like Amber Portwood. Um, but yeah, I
mhm,
felt bad at times too for Barb. I mean, a lot I felt bad for Barb. I'm not gonna say Barb was innocent in everything for sure. I'm not
mm-mm,
gonna say, Barb was innocent because I have a grandmother figure in my life that is very much like Barb, loud and just tells it like it is, and she'll get up there with you. If you are at her house and you trying to be foolish, yep, she's gonna get loud with you. And that's the type that Barb is. So I definitely think Barb, she came from a generation where, yelling and screaming at kids, that was more acceptable. It was kind of the norm back then. I feel like it's only been in like later years that we've all realized how harmful that is, and parents try not to do that. Parents try to handle them a different way. But, back in the day, I feel like that's a lot of families did that. They yelled at the kids. But I feel like
mhm,
Barb really tried. I mean, I think she really did try. She was working 2 or 3 jobs, I think 2 jobs, to take care of Janelle. So, and she said because Janelle wanted the nicer clothes, she wanted to have name brand clothes. So she worked 2 jobs and she wasn't home a lot. And Janelle, unbeknownst to her, was, doing things, having a sexual relationship with this boy that Barb thought was way younger. When Janelle started dating Andrew, Janelle lied about his age. She started sleeping with him. Barb has no idea, doesn't know how old he really is. And she's trying to work a job to take care of them, to make sure Janelle can have nice things in life. And then Janelle gets pregnant. And then she's like, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant and my baby daddy is way older than I told you. And Barb is like, she didn't kick her out. She didn't say, baby's got to go. Janelle lived there, had the baby, and then Janelle started going out. As soon as she has a baby, going out, going out, going out, going out, going out, to the point to where Barb's like, if you're not going to take care of the baby, then let me take care of the baby. Sign the baby over to me. I'm the one having to do everything anyways. And then Janelle, one of the main reasons Janelle signed custody over to Barb is because CPS launched an investigation into Janelle because Janelle left with Jace, and I don't know the full story, but something about she was inside a house doing drugs, and she left Jace outside on the porch in his car seat for like hours. And somehow CPS was alerted to that. They started investigating. She also had some legal trouble with getting arrested. And so she was scared that CPS was going to take him anyway. So Barb was like, well, just sign him over to me. I take care of him anyways. And so she did that. But I definitely think Barb, when we see them yelling back and forth, I don't know how I would have put up with it. I mean, I'm sure it would have been a struggle. And it takes a lot for me to yell at my kids and get loud with my kids. But I'm like, oh my goodness, if my kid acted like Janelle, I know I still wouldn't say F you to my child. I know that. But it would probably take, she got in Janelle got in Barbara's face, demanding Barbara go back in that house, go back in that house, go back in that house before I punch you in your face or something. This is at Barbara's house. I think Barbara may have been holding Jace. I'm not really for sure. After Barb is already taking care of your son and you're threatening to hit her at her own house as she raises your child, like, oh my goodness, Barb's not a saint, that's for sure. But I definitely felt like Barb did so much. She did the best that she could do. She really tried to help Janelle. So I know some people are big fans of Barb. Other people feel like Barb was a part of the issue. But I feel like, I feel like she tried very hard. Are you there? I think, I may have just been talking to myself, you guys, or I may have been talking to y'all. I see that your mic's still on, but I can't hear you. I'm going to give it a few more seconds to see if she'll come back. If not, we'll go ahead and drop that call. I don't have anybody else in the background, so if anybody else wants to come up, we'll give it a few more minutes. I was actually going to go live tonight on TikTok and cover Welcome to Plathville. It is 9:30 though. I guess we could hop off and go straight into that live. Is she back? Not sure what's happening. All right, we're going to go ahead and end that one out. But you guys, we were going to go live tonight and do Welcome to Plathville. Do you guys still want to do that? No, Bliss Chris, you can have your opinions on Barb. Oh, for sure. I definitely think let me tell you something. The mother-in-law figure that I have, while I love her to death, living with her was a little bit harder because she was very much like, I remember like the weekends, I worked during the week. So on the weekends, like I would try to sleep in a little bit on Saturday, right? And she would come in there and be like, get up, time to get up, get your bed made, get in here. We got work to do. And I'd be like, I worked all week. Do I have to? Like, really? And so I would get up, make my bed, but then I go like to my mom's house, and then I would come back later on. She'd be like, you got up and left, so you had to do no work, huh? And I'm like, well, I worked all week, and yeah, I made the bed that I slept in, and then I left. But I would clean up anything behind myself, but she wanted us to go outside and like pick weeds. You know what I'm saying? How do we come up? There is a link. I'll take one more person because we're gonna go do Plathville. So let me grab the link and we'll bring one more person up. All right. We'll take one more really quickly. Where will he go now? Poor child has to be an adult. I don't know because it's like, did she kick him out? I'm not sure. Okay, we have Ellie back, but her mic is muted again. Oh my gosh, just as bad, Elle. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they can be difficult. Let me see. Hello? Hey, your mic. Oh,
Hi.
hey. I dropped you a minute ago
Sorry.
because I couldn't hear you. Oh, we got two
Yeah.
more people in the back.
As I was saying, I feel like Janelle should be a little more grateful for Barb because she didn't have to take Jace in for her. And if it wasn't for Barb, Jace would have grown up in a foster home.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
And to me, I feel like maybe Jace wouldn't be acting out as much if maybe Janelle let him talk to Barb, because Barb raised
Yes,
him,
yes, yes.
and Barb and he practically, like, Barb practically raised him, so that's the only mother he's ever known his whole life. So maybe it's his way of saying, let me talk to my grandmother, this is why I'm behaving this way.
Yeah, I definitely feel like because there were times after Janelle got custody of Jace that she would cut communication between Jace and Barb. There were times she did that. Like she wouldn't let Jace talk to Barb. And I'm like, that is not okay. To not let Jace talk to the woman that raised him, to put that wedge up between them. He has a phone now. Chrissy says he has a phone. He's not allowed to talk to her. I don't know if he's not now, but I know back um not long after Janelle even got custody, they went on a trip. Barbara had just signed the paperwork 6 months earlier. The whole family goes on a trip. Barb, Janelle, David, all the kids. And Janelle got mad at Barb and told Barb, "You will never see Jace again. You will never see him. You will never talk to him again." Over an argument that Janelle and Barb got into. So Janelle was definitely the type to hold Jace over Barb and vice versa. She would hold Barb over Jace. I was told there were times that Jace bought things for Barb and they would come up missing, and you know, they would go places on vacations and Jace would buy something for his Maymay, and when they get home and he'd be like, "Hey, where's blah 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 for me to give to Maymay?" Oh, yes. I feel like Janelle's really struggled and been very jealous of the type of relationship that Barb and Jace have.
Mm-hmm. To me, I feel like if she truly loved Jace, instead of putting men before her own children, she would have gotten clean right away. But I do understand that addiction is a disease, and her and Kiefer at the time were heavy on drugs. But I feel like she could have worked a little bit harder earlier to try to develop that relationship with Jace if she really wanted to. But
Right.
every time there's a new man, she always chooses the man before her own kids. I mean, look what happened with David. She would defend David after the accusations that came out about him.
Yeah, she did. And I feel like that's gonna bite, I feel like that's going to help David's case. When David goes to trial, he's going to have the evidence that Janelle denied that it happened. He's gonna have the post that she made back then saying David was protecting our family, and now David's gonna have these messages, where, the messages that Jace posted where, "See, even my ex-wife who hates me said that Jace lied, that her own son lied." So this could definitely be, evidence in that trial to help David's case. And here's the thing. I don't know, nobody knows what really happened behind the scenes with that. I know what I was told by, people that know things and by someone that watched the video. But at the end of the day, I don't know what happened. I personally believe, like, I don't know what I could ever think. Okay, this gives a grown man the right to put hands on his 14-year-old stepson. I don't know, because I'm like, even if Jace would have attacked David was big enough, he could have just restrained him, like he said he's done before. So why not just restrain him instead of getting physical with him, which is what Jace alleged happened. So, but yeah, she's definitely defended David over Jace, and she's put so much over Jace. Her life, her OnlyFans, her this, her that. She's placed before not just Jace, but all of her kids.
And I also feel that Barb was completely right about David. She had every right not to like him because, like, if you look at everything David's done, I mean, who in their right mind kills a family dog like for biting a little girl? I mean I get it, I understand, but I don't condone his type of behavior. There was a different way that he could have handled it besides shooting the dog. That's wild to me that he would do such a evil thing.
Yeah. I mean, the video was out there of what happened with Ensley. And Ensley was, trying to give the dog a kiss, and the dog was just laying there, and the dog snipped at Ensley, and it did not break skin. She did not bleed. It was just barely even red. I know some places, if a dog nips or bites, especially if they bite, the owner will take the dog out or whatever. In the country, I've seen that happen. But what happened there, I felt like that they could have instead taught Ensley, okay, don't get in the dog's face. That was like a warning, in my opinion, because if the dog wanted to really bite Ensley, the dog really would have bit Ensley. The dog just like kind of nipped and like warned Ensley, like, back up, get out of my face, And they could have, from that point on, if they wanted to get rid of the dog, get rid of the dog. And then they needed to work with their kids on how to be around animals, how to be around animals. You don't get in their face, especially if they're asleep. If a dog is asleep, you really don't get in their face and wake them up, because if you startle them, they're gonna immediately wake up in defense mode. So yeah, that whole thing, I feel like he went about that the completely wrong way as well. And there were so many other things outside of what he did to Nugget, so many other things David taunted the public too. David loved to taunt the public, which made him get an even worse name, because after the thing happened with Nugget, he posted the videos of, him getting goats and naming the goats and talking about how he was going to raise the goats and then unalive the goats. And then sometime later, he unalived the goats, cooked the goats, and he did a video showing the goat head in the trash. It was like David loved to rile the public up, and it made people not like him. Bliss Chris is so proud to watch you grow over the past 5 years. I just love seeing people I've supported succeed. Oh, thank you. No one is more deserving. Oh, thank you, Bliss Chris. I don't have TikTok, but I hope you have a great stream over there. Thanks for the coverage and dedication. Thank you so much, Bliss Chris. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So yeah, the whole situation is a sad situation. But I have a few more people in the back waiting to come on, so I appreciate you coming on so much. I'm sorry that it dropped earlier. I couldn't hear you earlier, so I went ahead and dropped you. But I'm going to go ahead and bring Haley up, who's waiting in the background.
Okay.
Thank
It
you
was
so
nice
much.
talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nice talking to you too. Thank you.
You always have my support. Don't let what Amber has to say bring you down because her opinions are just irrelevant. She probably
Girl,
doesn't even know what she's saying.
she don't know what she's saying, because she didn't even know who I was. So I'm not worried about Amber. But thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Haley, we're about to bring you up. Hey, Haley,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry for the wait.
It's okay. Yeah, this whole situation is just a mess. Janelle is a mess. It's always
Yes.
everybody else's fault. And that's really hard to hear a lot of the time. You know, it's Barbara's fault or it's David's fault or it's all these guys' fault. And she never takes responsibility for herself. And I will say on the show, back in the day, Barbara, you know, yelling and everything, like I did think that it wasn't right for her to be doing all that. But at some point, like, that's your son, you know, you need to woman up kind of thing and take care of your responsibilities. Like you can't just go down the same path. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
And it makes me mad how she says she always puts Jace's mental health stuff out there. Like, oh, he has ODD and he has all these issues and like no, he's traumatized because of you. Your actions are why he is struggling. Like take some responsibility. Have some humility. You know, like maybe
Exactly.
if you were to do that and come at him in that way, there would be a chance for growth and understanding, but it's just
Yep.
crazy.
I agree. Janelle is very much like Amber, like they never take accountability. The
Mhm.
trauma that they have inflicted upon their kids, they don't think it's from them. They think that it's, for Amber, she thinks it's Gary and MTV. For Janelle, it's Barbara, or David. It's not her. When in reality, yeah, she has a lot to do with it too. That she inflicted trauma upon Jace. Just I mean, the fact alone that she didn't raise him for the first 14 years of his life, of course that's going to bring trauma. That's going to have him, have issues with abandonment and feeling loved and things like that. But she does not. No, she doesn't think that at all. She thinks that she's, oh, my mom stole him, and I
Mhm.
fought like hell to get him back, and finally I was able to get him back, and then he just had too many issues, and now he's acting out, and I'm doing my best. But it makes me wonder if she's thinking back to like, okay, look at the hell that Jace has given me. Oh my gosh, I owe my mom an apology because look at the hell I gave her.
Mhm. Yeah.
Probably not.
You think that she would?
You would think so. I mean, I probably would. I mean,
Yeah.
I have at times like I've like, in raising my kids been like, oh my goodness. And like,
Mhm.
God, I wasn't a bad kid growing up, but there were times I did things I shouldn't have done and I got in trouble. And me thinking like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, that I can see how that stressed my mom out. And my son, I mean, my husband is the same way. My husband, now he was a bad kid.
Mm.
My husband got in trouble a lot and and he's like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe, what I put my parents through. And you would wonder if Janelle thinks that, like, I owe my mom an apology because parenting is not hard. And not only did my mom parent
Yeah.
me, but then I made her parent my son.
Mhm. No, I don't think so. I think she thinks she's special and she's different. You know, it's not like, oh, I have some understanding. Wow, my mom was right, or wow, I see why she did what she did. It's all about her, and she
Right.
is justified in anything she does to Jace or to Barbara or to whoever else. And I feel
Yep.
so sad for Jace and for Ensley and Kaiser. And um, you think that she would get it at some point and grow up, but she just doesn't. And having
That's
Tori moved in, is that what you said?
Yeah, Tori's moved in with her. Tori's living with her.
That is just bananas.
It's really wild because what's so crazy too is Tori posted on her Facebook post not too long ago that she was giving up drinking, that she was trying to
Mhm.
turn over a new leaf, like, and she quit drinking. And
Mhm.
now she's living with Janelle and they're going out all the time. And I'm like, dang, girl, like you were trying to make a change for the better, in your life. And now bam, you're
Mhm.
back with Janelle and you are going out drinking all the time.
Mhm. Just bad decision after bad decision. But yeah, a little humility, a little bit of like, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to say to
Right.
Jace, hey, I messed up. I made bad choices and I'm sorry that it hurt you. Let's
Exactly.
grow from here. But she refuses to do that. She'll never take responsibility.
No, never. She she never will.
And they
It's
suffer for
sad.
it.
And you know what? Maybe if she would though, that would help Jace. If she was to say,
Mhm.
"Listen, I know I did X, Y, and Z. I
Mhm.
know I should have stepped up to raise you, but I was just not in a good place."
Mhm.
And rather than, you this Jace or my mom, if she would just say, I made all these mistakes and I messed up. And if I could go back, I absolutely would have kept you and I would have raised you and I would have did better. But I didn't, and I'm sorry. And I know that I inflicted trauma upon you, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it would open the door to healing. If he doesn't trust her, right? That would
Right.
you feel seen, like, oh, my mom sees what she did to me. Like, we can take this next step forward. I trust her now. Let's see what we can build. But
Absolutely.
she just can't do that. It seems it's really sad. So I hope
Yep.
the best for them and healing one day, through whatever
Yes.
ends up happening with them. So
Me too. And the fact that Jay started speaking out today is wild. Like I said, I always thought like there's going to be a day that Jace may speak out. There's going to be a day that Marissa's going to speak out. And Marissa wanted to. Marissa had talked to me and another creator about, sharing her side of, what it was like growing up,
wow.
living with Janelle. But because her dad's divorce was not final from Janelle, she decided to hold off because she did not want that to have any impact on her dad's divorce. But now that the divorce is settled, she may end up speaking out if she still wants to. And I was very upfront with her, like, if you want to, absolutely. But if you don't, I support that as well. And I even gave her like kind of the warnings of like, if you do speak out, just be prepared that not everybody's going to be nice. You'll probably have the majority of the support from people, but there's going to be those few people that feel like you shouldn't share your story, that
Yeah.
you should shut up, that you should live the life that you lived, where CPS was involved, where you had to take the stand against your dad, where you had a stepmom that used your toothbrush to clean the toilet when she was mad at you, and you just continue on with your life, grow up and say nothing about it. There's going to be those people that think that. But for the most part, a lot of people would be completely supportive. But I did warn her about that.
Yeah. There's always going to be those people out there who have something bad to say. But the fact that Janelle lies so much and uses the media to her advantage in so many ways, and she leaves things out, I think it would be powerful for them to say their side of things, not, as a way
Yeah.
to mess with her on purpose, but like, hey, this is the narrative that's been spun, and I want to let my truth be known in a powerful way. I hope that they're
Yeah.
able to do that at some point if it feels right for them,
Right. Absolutely. If it feels right for them. And yeah, I mean, I feel like Jace will end up eventually saying more. I just hope it's not like out of like, I'm mad, so I'm gonna throw this out there. It's like him really thinking about it, taking it in and thinking, I want to share my story. If he wants the world to know what kind of mom he has to live with, just maybe don't do it out of anger. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
because especially when he's living there too, because that's not gonna be good.
Yeah, he has to think of his living situation and what he has to deal with on a daily basis. But he posts on social media a lot of the time. I don't know where, but I've seen some things and it's so sad.
Yes. Oh my
It's
goodness.
so heartbreaking.
His TikToks that he were posting was
Mhm.
so sad, talking about having a mom that didn't love him, having a mom that didn't believe him. Even like there were posts about like depression and thoughts of unaliving oneself. I mean, they were very sad.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And she
So
just
sad.
wants to go out drinking. Like, you're
Exactly.
the ultimate piece of trash. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I have such like, I guess, disdain towards her because I'm like, your son struggles. I'm like, I get it, you're a single mom. All parents want to go have a break, not just single moms, but parents in general, they want to go have a break from time to time. But
Yeah.
you have a child that is really struggling. And you see his TikTok post, and we know that she sees his TikTok post because she reshared some of them. She reshared it. So we know that she
Yeah.
was seeing it. But as he's making these posts, she's also promoting her OF. She's like attacking David's new girlfriend on X. She's going out. She's renting hotel rooms for the weekend by herself to give her a break, or with her in August. And I'm like, what are you doing? Your son is struggling.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. Like you want to be a parent, it's okay to want a break. But to be a parent and you're not taking a break, you're out all the time. And that is not being a parent. Like, I would respect her more if she was honest and like, "Hey, I love you, but I can't be your sole parent. I'll come and visit you, whatever." Okay, be honest. Own what you
Right.
want to go do. You don't want to be a parent. But now she's like, you know, keeping them, I feel like, to save face.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I've always felt that way. I've
mhm,
always felt that the only reason Janelle has her kids is because she wants to play the part, look the part, not play the part, but look the part as a good mom. I
mhm.
really have always felt if Janelle would have never been on social media, if she never would have been on the show, if she never would have been on Teen Mom, she would have not kept any of her kids. I
Yeah.
really feel like she would have let Kaiser go with Nathan and Doris. When her and David split, she would have let him get Ensley. I really don't think she would have kept any of her kids. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's
Yep.
so sad.
Very sad situation.
Yeah. Thanks thanks for having me on. I love your coverage. You're so empathetic but fair, and you also speak your mind, and I really enjoy watching your content. So, thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me on.
Haley. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate all the support. It really means a lot to me because without you guys, I would have to get a real job.
Oh,
I would have to go work for
no.
corporate America, and I don't want to do that. You
Ugh.
guys keep me here where I can be around my kids more and where we can talk crazy reality TV news. And I'm so appreciative. And I'm so glad all of y'all came on tonight because it's been really fun.
Mhm. Yeah.
And we'll do this again sometime. We'll definitely we'll open the panel up more because we kept at least 500 people on watching too. So we're gonna
Yeah.
start doing this more. I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. This is fun. So maybe I'll be on again at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Haley.
Bye.
Okay, guys. Thank you to everyone that was in the chat. Thank you to everyone that came up and shared their thoughts. And once again, I just want everybody to remember, like, I know this is a child involved. He is 16 years old, and it is kind of weird to talk about what children are going through. It is, because I put myself in that position, like, oh my goodness, like if something was going on with my kid, would I want some TikTok creator or Facebook person talking about it? Well, no, of course not. But that's also why I would never make the decision to be on a reality TV show. I would never make the decision if I would, like, even me being a YouTuber. I don't put my kids on here. I talk about my kids a little bit, but not very much. I don't show their faces on here because I want my kids to have a private life. And if things go on in my kids' life, that's for my family. It's not for Janelle does this. Janelle goes on, she goes on interviews and she talks about Jace's mental health. She sells clickbait articles about him running away. She sells clickbait articles about her making Kaiser go live with his dad. About, like, I'm not putting his business out there. Janelle does. I'm just commenting on it. Okay. I'm not like digging into the background to know what's going on with Jace, so I can bring it to you guys. No, she's putting it out there. And as someone that covers reality TV news and reality TV celebrities, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. And I'm not trying to judge, someone's heart. I'm not trying to judge to say, oh, they're going to heaven or hell because that's something too. Like, oh, you're a Christian and you're judging people. No, I'm not judging Janelle's heart. I am, bringing up her character and questioning her character. But as far as her heart, no, I'm talking about, very public events that are public because she's making them public. Yeah, so I'm not trying to sit here. I try to be careful with my words. I try to be truthful. I try to say this is my opinion, or yeah, this is a fact because this has been, put out there as a fact. But I try to make sure I'm kind, even when I'm talking about the drama. So for anyone like wanting to comment or come at me saying I'm judging them or whatever, this is put out there. And shenanigans, I literally was going to say the same thing. Watch her do a clickbait article about this. Janelle Evans' son, Jace, releases text messages between him and his mom. Janelle responds. Like, that will probably be a clickbait article tomorrow, posted on Janelle's very own Facebook page. So if Janelle is going to sell this, if she's going to talk about it, if she's going to put it all out there, then why can we not talk about it in a sense of trying to advocate for him and trying to say, you know what, Janelle, you need to get your crap together. We see you. We know you're not a great parent. No, you're not doing what you should do. There's so much you can do, and these are the things that you can do. Do those things. These are the things that we feel like you're doing wrong, that don't make sense to us. So, I mean, because I've always felt like maybe if enough people tell her, maybe she'll start listening. Probably not, but so yeah, I try to be respectful. I try to be nice, and I'm not trying to be like judgmental. And I'm not questioning her heart. I'm not questioning her salvation. I'm not questioning that kind of stuff. I'm literally just talking about things that she's already put out to the public. But yeah, you guys. So it is almost 10 o'clock Central Time. We're gonna go ahead and jump over to TikTok. We're gonna go live and we're gonna watch Welcome to Plathville. I am on the first season, so tonight's episode may be very confusing for me, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna watch it anyways. We'll continue to keep up with the situation with Jace and Janelle. If any more posts are made, I'll let you guys know. If anybody reaches out to me, as far as the people that I normally talk to that have inside knowledge into what's going on, I'll let you guys know. You guys make sure you like, share, subscribe. Go over to my TikTok if you like Welcome to Plathville. I'll be live in like 5 minutes. Bye, guys.